Life is short, it ain't no guarantees. Just step on out, girl, you wear with ease.
You're beautiful. You are more than numbers on a scale.
Go curvy. Go curvy. Go curvy. Oh, go curvy. Go curvy. Go curvy.
Welcome everybody. We are so happy to have you here today. I have to give a big heartfelt thank you to the Go Curvy viewers out there. You're what makes this show so special, and I've got a lot of love on social media this week from you, so lots of love coming back. Thank you so much for watching the show. So happy to have you here with us today. The dreaded flu has hit the Go Curvy show, so we might have a little bit of a abbreviated show for you today, but we'll give a shout out to our poor sick sweethearts in a little bit. And you know, I don't think some of our cameraman and Andy, our director's not feeling too good, so if I just go blank all of a sudden, you know why. But welcome. Gotta tell you, we all have an amazing show for you today. Of course, I've got Spicy Girl Talk. Give us a wave, everybody. Kelly, Gio, and we have the beautiful model, Teagan, who's filling in today. Are we lucky or what? And of course, we have Priscilla over in chat. Hey, Priscilla.
Hi, Sherry Lee.
How are you doing today? You look gorgeous.
Thank you. You as well. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie. And how can people get a hold of us today and chat with us live during the show?
Definitely. So, guys, make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram, as well as our Facebook page, all under Go Curvy, okay? Stay tuned.
Thanks, Priscilla. We'll see you in a little bit. And I'm cooking up a Southwest salad for you in lifestyle today. This is a little bit different. This is like a healthy version of a Southwest salad. So come in, tune in, and I'll show you what I'm doing different. And for the ladies out there, I have something really special for you today. I have got dating expert, they call him the real live hitch, Brandon Akey. He's going to join us on the couch in a little bit. But let's go for some spicy girl talk and get today's show started. Woohoo! All right. Hey, Spicies! Okay, now you know the drill, because I know you've all been on my couch before, except for Teagan, but Teagan's been here enough times.
I know, first time.
So remember, we got to get this game right? So I'm going to start. I'm Sherry Lee Meredith. I am the host and creator of Go Curvy. I'm a proud curvy girl, and the love of my life is a 8-pound Maltese named Bricks. I am wearing Nick and Zoe sweater, a Bailey 44 Maryland dress. I love this dress. It is the hottest thing ever and so comfortable. And my shoes are by 9 West. And over to you, Kelly.
I am Kelly Glover. My website is bigcurvylove.com, and you can get me on Twitter at bigcurvylove. Today, another Australian designer. This skirt is by Autograph, so I might do a little twirl for you.
Very nice. This is a gorgeous skirt. We were talking about this earlier. Oh, look at Kelly. Kelly's got some feeling spicy today.
Right.
And Gio, I've got my dear friend Gio back, looking fabulous.
Hey, Sherry, how are you?
Looking beautiful. I
Thank
said I
you.
love that color.
This is one of my favorite colors in the world, and I'm a very simple man. I like my H&Ms, and I like my Zaras, and you know, my shoes, I have no idea. I was running to the premiere of my show, and I didn't have a pair of shoes. So I said, oh, these look good. I think they are
I love them.
Bucci Studio. So it's somewhere Italian, somewhere. But they're comfortable and they're great.
That is wonderful. And Gio, I know you have something really special that we're all so excited about coming up soon. Tell us what you're doing.
Absolutely. I am going to be producing a short film with my producing partner, Broadway producer Nick Demos, who directs TV and film. And we are going to be doing a short that deals when a parent, when a kid finds out that he has to take care of a parent. So the underlining theme is Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Which is something very special for me. So
yeah, that's wonderful, Gio. We'll be checking in with you. You check back in with us when you're off to New York.
Absolutely.
But thank you for being here today, Teagan.
Well, I'm Teagan Brooke. I'm a plus-size model, and today I'm wearing Ijiji, and I'm also Canadian.
Oh, Canada! We won all the gold medals in curling and hockey. Give it a shout out. I know.
I love Corey Perry from the Ducks. My mom actually taught him in grade 3, so he's, you know.
Give a shout out to the fellow Canadians, Teagan.
All right, fellow Canadians, so glad you're watching and supporting Go Curvy, because it really means a lot to me. So,
We're so happy.
Just amazing, yeah.
And our beautiful model Teagan, not only is she gorgeous and does our beauty, she can actually talk. So we're
believe it or not. It's kind of weird,
oh, goodness. So from something so happy, we got to move on to something we really need to talk about. And this is National Eating Disorders Week. And I know a lot of shows, including the Today Show, have been doing some wonderful things and talking about it. But we got a couple of statistics, and they're kind of heartbreaking, a little bit heartbreaking here. And so one of the statistics is 30 million Americans will suffer from an eating disorder in their lifetime. Is that not 30 million?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I think, especially us girls in the curvy world, we really understand it. We really understand, what an eating disorder is and the pressure to look and be a certain way. And, I think that's another reason, why I started Go Curvy. And I know we all talk about this so very often. Growing up, we had nobody.
We had no Sherry Lee.
There was nobody.
We didn't have you, and that makes a big difference. So if we can reach out to people and girls and everyone, makes a big difference.
It's going to be okay. It's really going to be okay. And Teagan, I know you can probably relate a little bit to this, is that in Canada, we have ski trips. And one of the things, if you're going to go on the ski trip, you actually got to get weighed in front of your class so they can fit you into your ski gear. And I think for me, that was grade 7. We call it junior high in Canada. And I will never forget how I felt at that moment. And I'm thinking, if I would have known, fast forward all these years, and there's a whole lot of years between me in grade 7 and me now, I would have, had a little bit of hope, and, life's okay. There's more important things to worry about, what size ski boots you're going to wear, so.
And I think the important thing that you said, Sherry Lee Meredith, is there's 30 million. You are not the only person going through this.
Right.
There are so many other people that you probably don't know about. Right. I mean, it could be your friend, because a lot of it is secrecy, embarrassment, privacy, all these different things. And I've found out that friends have had issues and not known for years later, and I would never have known.
And male friends.
Slim people as well.
Absolutely.
Slim people, bigger people, male, female, older, younger. And it can happen to anyone. You're not alone, and you can, if you need help, there's help out there, because you can overcome it as well. It's not forever. It could just be for now.
I've known people that are a size 2 or a size whatever, 28 in men's clothing, and they have eating disorders, and because they want to look like a model, right, or they don't like the food, or people turn around and said you're fat, even the skinny people, and it does play a psyche. It does play a psyche, and I think there's a lot of challenge in also the gay male world, because everyone wants to be.
A lot of pressure.
It's a lot of
pressure.
A lot of pressure.
And you can't tell just by looking at someone, because they can look fine, but they're actually not fine.
Right.
Exactly. And there's some people that you look at, you had no idea that no matter what the disorder is, where it's eating too much, which is still a disorder, or not eating enough, or making yourself puke. And I think with knowing and being alone, there's a lot of people who do that.
And you suffer alone. You suffer alone for years. And you're right, you can't look at someone and say, you have an eating disorder, and that's the problem too, because you can't reach out to help them.
Right.
It's a very, it's a disease you suffer in silence. And, I think we'll talk about this a little bit later on our show, because I always say I had a stroke 2 years ago, and all my years of growing up and diet pills and dieting and, having an eating disorder, call it what it is, contribute to that when you get later on in life. So, we just want to make sure everybody knows that it gets better, and, reach out to somebody.
Yeah.
Reach out.
And the older you get, or maybe it's just the more experience or more knowledge and having this movement going on, makes it so much easier, because knowing to accept what you have is like key, because it takes a long time and you need that aha moment.
You do. And Teagan, I always say this, and I can never, ever, ever say this enough. When I had my stroke, I was paralyzed. Left side completely, couldn't walk. I didn't worry about, laying there in bed and not being able to move. The only thing that I could think about, it wasn't, what size am I today? What did I do? It was how many things I missed out on in life because I didn't feel good enough, so I stayed home. Or drowned my sorrows in a bag of potato chips. And, it's those things. So I think, when you have those experiences in life, you just want to hug everybody and say, it's going to be okay, because when, that's why we say live for today, because tomorrow's not guaranteed. And, who cares if you're a size 2 or 22? Love who you are. And I know it sounds so easy to say, and I think, it's so much easier for me to say after all this life experience. But, if you know someone who is suffering from an eating disorder, please reach out to them and let them know that there's help. And the other statistic from National Eating Disorders Week is that anorexia is the most fatal of all mental disorders. Isn't that sad?
That's sad.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know
and
that.
I think it's true. I didn't think so until I read that article, but if you put it into perspective, it's true,
Yeah, it really is. I always relate back to, I had salons in the beauty industry, and I had this beautiful girl, went to Chapman, gorgeous, had a great family life, and she literally went down to 90 pounds in front of our eyes. And, she couldn't see what we would see, and just reaching out and trying to help her, because she couldn't see the same thing in the mirror. So,
And fire needs wood.
Yeah.
So
right, right.
Yeah.
And the important thing you said is it's a mental disorder.
Yeah.
So it's not just a matter of, I have a sandwich.
Right.
Which you're too skinny. People often feel that they can say to slimmer people,
oh, go eat a burger. Like, how many times have we seen
that they would never say to a larger person. That
It's
makes
so
someone,
wrong.
So if someone is struggling, you need help, and that's okay.
And it's okay,
Yeah.
right? It's okay. We all have things in life that we need help with.
you just have to ask.
You do. Yeah.
Ask.
And don't be afraid to ask someone around you too. If you see someone that needs help, don't be silent.
And there's so many methods, like right now with online and social media, that you can contact anybody, and get some help. So there's no excuse.
Teagan, what is it like in the modeling industry? Like, I know you're
I'm
how
fresh.
new, right?
I'm fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, fresh out of the oven. But that's good. And I think, do you think now that you've come into the modeling world being a confident woman, that's got to help?
It makes a big difference, because honestly, about 10 years ago when I moved, no, actually it's 14. Oh God, how many years? 14 years ago, I was doing acting. And back then I had no confidence, and I can tell that it was just a whole different ball game, because I would go in feeling like I wasn't good enough. So I'd already self-defeated myself before even going in.
Yeah.
So, and kind of just putting that pressure, well, you have to look this way, and I have to be this way. And then now I kind of go into things, and I'm just more calm. And if they like me, they like me. Yeah. If they don't, they don't.
Because you like you. That's what the big difference is. It's that confidence.
Yes.
Because you walk in there and you're like, oh, hey, I'm Teagan. If you don't like me, I like me, and that's all that counts.
Yeah. And maybe it's not a fit.
But it shows all over your face, Teagan. It really does. So that's what we need to share with the younger generation.
It's got to be, you got to just take on, don't give a shit attitude.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I mean, it took me a long time to get that way, but now I don't give a shit.
Right.
Do you
care about the...
This is who I am. This is, I could be loud. I can be crass.
No.
I could be heavier, I could be thinner, but this is who I am. Take me or leave it. And I think
wonderful.
Once you put that mind frame in, everything else works out.
Yeah.
It does. Confidence.
Confidence.
I always say confidence is the sexiest thing a woman can wear, and it's so true.
And you walk better.
Absolutely.
You know, you stand up better.
Absolutely. So let's get on to something a little bit fun. I have a survey for you. And you all know that I'm really dangerous at night when I'm in bed with my little Brixie, my little puppy. He's sleeping. I have nothing to do. I'm bored, so I troll the internet for fun stuff. So this one is from bestfunfacts.com. And it's gender differences.
Oh.
Ooh la la, spicy.
So here we go. Actually, it's kind of dirty, and you know why when I say this.
Well, dirty is spicy is dirty. Oh wait, are we saying dirty as in
like
dirty spice?
Like don't touch me, dirty.
Okay.
Don't get excited yet, Gio.
Bring it on.
That's the next one.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
90% of women wash their hands after the bathroom. 75% of men. I have raised 3 grown men, and I know 75% of men do not wash their hands.
I don't think the women do either. There's so many times I'm in the restroom, and I cannot get over it.
So you're saying it's overestimated because people are saying they do it even though they don't. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
Yes, sometimes, you know, and I'm guilty of that, and I have.
Gio.
I am. Oh my God. Not all the time. I would say I'm more in the 80%. I'm more on the other side. No, but sometimes I'll leave and my. No, who cares? I don't give a shit.
But Gio, after saying that, you're gonna need Brandon's help more than Kelly.
No. But let me just tell you the funny story. Is one time I went to the restroom. I had my friends over, and my best friend turned around and said, "Get back in the bathroom." And I said, "Why?" And she goes, "You didn't wash your hands." And I was like, "Oh, so it's not a thing that, oh, I'm not going to wash my hands because I want to be dirty." But you just don't think. You zip it up and you leave. But I do more. I do. I'm conscious. I'm conscious. Anyway, okay. Don't date Gio, you know what I mean? No.
Hashtag don't date Gio, or give him a bottle of Purell or something.
I have Purell on my desk, so.
There you go. So hey.
But no, but it is a thing. It's just something that people are either not taught or beat into them in a way.
Right.
Or you just.
I've heard from so many guys, though, if you're in the restroom and you run into somebody you know and they want to shake your hand, like before they've done it, I've heard that so many times. Like guys, like what's with that?
Who's shaking hands in the
bathroom?
That doesn't happen in the female bathroom.
I've heard that so many times.
A lot of things
from
happen
guys.
in the bathroom, in the men's bathroom.
I don't spend a lot of time in men's bathrooms, so I don't know.
Go to
If you
Paris.
are a fly, go to Paris.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's probably a lot of flies in there too. I wouldn't be
It's like the
surprised.
same thing, and this is why I'm more conscious about washing my hands. Is the mints. Remember at one time you go to diners and the mints, now they're wrapped.
Right.
But I used to, in college, we used to grab the mints after, a long night at Palace Diner, and my friend at the time said, "Put that down." I was like, "Why?"
They're dirty, yes.
They're like, do you know how many people don't wash their hands and then touch that?
Wash your hands before you go to the bathroom and after.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yes, because
Right?
you never
Before
know.
and
Yes,
after?
because if you
Do
touch
you do that? Before
yes,
and after?
yes, because I
Really?
don't want
Do
this
you?
to get.
Yeah, I always do. I always go to the sink first
shit.
and then after. Well, because everything's dirty. You've touched it.
You're touching.
I'm taking Gio with me to the
Okay,
bathroom.
you know what? I need a lesson in bathroom etiquette.
I will.
Well,
That's
pull
on
down
our
your
list.
pants, and then your hands, whoever you've touched, think of who you might have touched.
I think we all
Think
need
about
to start wearing
that.
gloves.
And what's the next statistic?
Moving on. And this one's just for Gio. So, 70% of men shower daily. Woohoo! A good one, guys. Good statistic. Only 57% of women.
I can't believe that.
That
cannot. I shower every day, sometimes more than once a day.
Yeah.
Who are these people?
I know.
Who are you?
Are you kidding? I shower like twice a day, and
I shower once a
love
day
my
or twice
bath.
a day.
Yeah.
And I shower after the gym. Like I can't, like if I work
It's-
out
it's weird.
and go and
Maybe not.
get dressed sweaty. I can't do it.
Maybe it's not weird
It's not weird.
to not shower a
Not
day.
shower?
It's not weird.
It is weird.
No?
No, maybe
Nope.
the right word is not weird, but I think it depends on the person's.
Well, maybe you want your skin to be nice and glowy. And so, you know,
Right? You don't
and if you
wanna-
didn't really work out and you didn't really sweat
Well, I'm sorry.
and do
if
a
I
quick...
find out you're
No, but
showering twice a week, I'm judging
I
you.
can't like go to work unless I shower.
Don't tell me that you're only showering twice a week. 'Cause
No.
That's all I'll see every time I see you. Judging you.
You should never judge.
I think people. I think it should be every day.
I think
once
it should
a day.
be every day. And if not, you know, give yourself some type of bath, you know, baby wipes, do something. But
No, get under the shower
Yeah, just-
and
just
clean.
get in the shower.
Every day, people. That's it. That's the rule.
I could tell you the only time I didn't shower was when I was sick with the flu, and you wake
Right.
up and you're like,
Fine.
and then 3 days later you're like, I stink. Let me shower.
So, you know, this actually brings a really interesting thought in my mind. So if 70% of men shower, like only 70% every day, and only 57% of women, what happens if you have a boyfriend and you both don't shower that day? Isn't that just kind of ooey?
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
Ooey.
Then he's not washing his hands. Like, there's all these problems happening.
Gio, and he's not washing his hands.
At least you shower.
Okay.
Stinks.
Listen, next time
Gotta go.
on Spicy Girl Talk,
Dirty girl talk.
it's dirty girl talk. Hello.
I'm judging you.
It's okay. Judge.
All right, and this next one's for all of us. This is a new survey, and this is so much fun. Okay, so thedailyDot.com ranked states by the longest they last in bed. So we're talking the longest they have sex. So
Good
is this
subject.
going through your mind, thinking about what states are which? So so we're going to start at the top because we always want to start positive, right? So we want to start at the top 4 states. So at number 4,
Come on, California.
oh, California.
last, I'm
California
sure.
is not even on my card,
Oh
unfortunately.
God. People.
Pretty
Hello.
bad. So at number 4, we have South Carolina at 4 minutes and 48 seconds.
I've read this survey, Sherry Lee.
5 minutes?
Under
Oh,
5
that's
minutes.
No, I can't believe. I just cannot believe. Who are they surveying?
Oh, it gets worse.
I can't believe. I do not believe it. Like, it's not. That is not true.
You got to get
It
my
could be.
age, darling, and it's true. It's true.
I can't believe.
It's true.
I mean, look, sometimes you just want to
5
go do
minutes?
it, get it done, and move on.
Yeah.
But I do think 5 minutes is low. I mean,
Oh,
guys,
that's nothing.
Viagra.
Oh,
Viagra.
guys, this is our top 4, not our bottom 4.
Oh.
This is our top 4.
This is top 4?
I want to know who they surveyed and how they surveyed.
We have at number 3, Idaho at 5 minutes and 11 seconds.
all those potatoes.
The potato farmers.
So 5
More
minutes,
time.
11
But
seconds
see,
for Idaho.
they have something because they've got to get out, right? And
It's
work.
all that starch.
And stamina
It's the
from
starch.
working on a farm.
Number 2. So this is, in all the states, this is the second longest. West Virginia at 5 minutes and 38 seconds.
I'm interested to see how they did this poll. Like a
I
stopwatch.
know you guys want to know number 1.
Yes, I
We'll
do.
see where, maybe
I
this is
wanna
where we
see-
can.
I don't even care about the state. I just want to know the time.
Okay, and at number 1, bing, 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 we have New Mexico at 7 minutes and 1 second.
7 minutes. You see, I think that's a more normal time.
I think so too.
I mean,
Who are you sleeping with people? This is ridiculous.
what? No, listen. Well, first of all, I think it's more because the man doesn't last that long compared to the
Right.
woman.
Yeah,
But-
Gio, it's not really in our control.
Oh, it's
yeah,
always the man.
yeah, it is. It's. I mean, it's aimed at the men.
Yeah.
If you really think of it, and if you think of the average people, when you have sex at the beginning, you might last longer because you want the pleasure to go. But if
Right.
you're married and you're like, okay, let's just get off.
You got a
it might
TV
be-
show to do.
Yeah, you got got to walk the dog. Maybe it's like,
I'll do
okay,
your
let's do it
taxes.
quick. But I do have to say, I mean, if you're gonna,
Quickie in my book.
yeah, that's a quickie. But when you're
this is
married,
like the
but when you're
longest.
married, you do quickies.
I don't get it.
Okay, now we gotta get.
But
now-
anyway,
no,
go.
we gotta go to the bottom.
What's the bottom?
Oh. 30
Sorry
seconds.
for these states, but so fourth from the bottom, we have Montana at 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Well, that 3
Okay.
seconds really did it.
I don't even have.
It was that extra 3. It counted. Extra 3 seconds.
Good for you.
Right. Third from the bottom.
I don't
can't keep
have anything
it
to
straight.
say. I don't even know what
Oh, it gets worse. It gets
How
worse.
can it get worse if I'm not doing
Third
anything?
from the bottom is Vermont at 1 minute 48 seconds.
It's because they're too busy smoking that reefer.
Right? I take longer than that to brush my teeth.
Come on.
Second from the bottom. And I am so disappointed in this one because a couple weeks ago we did a survey from condommania.com about where the most Magnum condoms were sold. And this state, second from the bottom in lasting time, was up at the top for Magnum condoms sold. So ladies, if you go to this state, you'll have a really good time, but a really short time, because we've got South Dakota at 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Oh no.
Blink, blink, and it's done.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
That's a big bang.
I
bang.
have a friend of mine moving to South Dakota this week, and
Tell
I
him
think
not to do it.
he's got to change that statistic.
And in all the states, the state that lasts the least, Alaska, at 1 minute and 21 seconds. Why bother?
Well,
No.
1 minute and 21
well,
seconds.
It takes
Well,
me longer to take my clothes
I
off.
can't. I have a comment to say, but it's going to go in the political route,
you
so
know
I'm
what?
just not going to
All
go.
I'm thinking about
it's
is-
because they're busy looking at Russia from Alaska. That's what it is. They're trying to see if they can catch that glimpse.
But you know what I'm thinking? When I saw this statistic, I'm going, there was all those reality shows about Alaskan men. Remember that?
Yeah. Maybe it's too cold.
No, this is what it is.
Or
Because
maybe,
the people
or
that
maybe
No,
it
that's
freezes.
not a no.
You don't get frostbite there, Gio. It doesn't happen that way.
the people that are filling out these surveys are people that have time to fill the surveys out. The people that aren't filling them out
Right.
are the
Are busy
people that are
having
having
sex.
sex. That's why.
Right, okay,
That's
yes,
the only
I agree.
rationale.
Or no, or you know, some of these states they only need 1 minute and 21 seconds.
Or maybe the women are just so hot and sexy that they just
There
can't
we
handle
go.
it. So we can think positive that
Right.
these women
Oh,
are
I love
super
that.
sexy
Love
that they
that.
can't even, you know, like,
Right?
hey.
Men, go get Viagra. Come on. Let's be honest.
But women stay sexy.
Even if you're 20, go get it. It'll make you last more.
Right from Gio. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. This has been so wonderful, but stay with me because we have something else really fun to talk about. And this is my must-have of the week.
Ooh, la la.
It's on the
Ooh.
list. And actually, I thought about Kelly when I did this because you did an article on your blog about it. And we're talking about the dreaded chub rub. So we wanted to come up with some solutions, and I think these are actually some really great ones. Let me dig behind me. So at number 1, we have bandelettes. And I actually have a little sample. I'm going to give you one. And Kelly, I know you wrote about those.
Yeah, chub rub is my nemesis. That was what my blog was about. So if you don't know what chub rub is, it's when your thighs rub together.
Yes.
Sorry, and the bandelettes go on.
They do.
like that. Like,
So they're
roll
very,
them up.
very
They're
sexy.
really good.
You actually wear them around your thighs, and they help with
And
with
you can
chub
get
rub.
different colors to match them to your
and
outfit
different
and everything.
sizes.
Yeah.
And I think those are really sexy.
And Sherry Lee said you can wear it as a headband too.
Right.
So, hey.
Yeah.
Multiple
Or a
use.
bundle.
Nice.
At number 2, we have Under
It
Summers.
kind of reminds me, just to interrupt for a second.
Isn't it
Those-
nice?
Yes, it's beautiful, but it reminds me of these bands that I put around my legs when I'm training. And anyway, I had a training session today, and
I
you know
have-
the rubber bands.
I
the rubber-
have, they sent me an extra pair, Gio. I'll give them to you.
Can
you
I?
can wear
I
it in the
love
gym.
these.
Ooh, sport
Yeah.
it.
Oh, but you know what? Ooh, these
I
are
know,
nice in here.
because they
That's
they
great.
won't come down. Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. All right.
And at number 2, I love these. And thank you so much for sending these to me. They wanted to make sure I had them in my hand so we could feel them. And these are Under Summers, and they're like a long, sexy bicycle short.
Oh, okay.
You gotta feel the material. And at number 3, and the reason we have this on our list at number 3, which is Neat 3B Action Cream, I know a lot of athletes use this, and it works really well because us curvy girls are not the only ones who get chub rub.
Yeah, I use that. It's really
It's
good. And you
supposed to
get them in
work
little
really
small
well.
packages, and you can leave it in your car if you're going to an event. So it's good.
Supposed to work really well. Thank you, everybody, so much. Our wonderful Delaney, who's usually with us, is at home sick with the flu. Teagan, thank you so much for sitting in for her. Let's send Delaney some love, though. We love you, baby.
Miss you, Delaney.
But we're gonna see a little bit of Delaney now because we're gonna toss to two hopeful spinsters. Let's have a look at Delaney.
Michael, you look great. I love it. I'm so into you. All right, everyone settle, please. Settle. Pictures up. Shut up. Action.
Listen, you I think I'm going to quote a great poet. What words do men use when they look past the reason?
They say that you'll die for your deeds, and that your end is coming soon.
Sure about that?
They're two hopeful spinsters.
That's the reason.
They say that you'll die for your deeds, and that your end is coming soon.
Sure about that?
You're Michael Madsen.
Who wants to know?
Me? Hi.
Oh, wait a second. No, I know who she is.
Oh, good. Well, as long as you know.
Oh.
We'll just wait.
Oh, you know who I am?
No.
You know?
I had a dream about you last night.
Oh my God.
It was you and another girl.
Yes.
And me in a car.
Yes, my friend
and we were
Sally.
going really
Yes.
super fast.
Yes.
We were going to drive over a cliff.
Yes, the other girl that was in the dream, something's happened to her, and there's been this thing, and I can't really explain it. If I explain it, you're going to think I'm crazy. You probably already think it because you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
You sound crazy.
I sound a little crazy.
my God.
I need you.
Well, you know, I'm kind of busy.
We'll just go into meal penalty.
I'm the life or death. No, it is life or death. Please.
They're two hopeful spinsters.
Hopeful spinsters, the most beautiful spinsters I've ever seen. Well, welcome back, everybody. We have Brandon Aki on the couch with us, and he's going to give us some advice. And after that last segment, we need help. Right. We need a lot of help. We'll have to start with Gio later, but we've got the beautiful Kelly with us today. Brandon, Kelly has decided to do something, and I'm a little bit worried for her. And she's gonna, I really am. And so she's gonna definitely need some advice.
Okay.
Kelly has decided, so starting at Valentine's Day, going forward for the next year, she's gonna go on what she calls 50 fat dates.
Okay.
So she's gonna have between this past Valentine's Day and the next Valentine's Day, go on 50 dates.
Yeah.
All right.
Churn and burn. It's a numbers game, right?
Yeah. Something like that.
So Brandon, tell us a little bit about you, though. They call you the real live Hitch.
Yeah. Originally born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina, so I think that you guys talked about that. I guess we were doing somewhere around 4 minutes and 30 seconds in that
right?
poll,
so you were on the top of the list. So there we go. So that's why he's smiling. If he would have lived in Alaska, there'd be no smile on Brandon's face right now.
Yeah, but born and raised in Charleston, South Carolina, moved off after high school to go to the Air Force Academy.
Oh,
and studied behavioral economics at the Air Force Academy. Graduated, became a pilot in the Air Force, and flew jets for a while, and got hurt on a deployment. And long story short, found a new passion. You know, falling back on my degree, and realized that it was something that I was already in love with, but also at the same time, it was something I was really great at. So.
And that's helping us ladies.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And started my own company, and the rest is history.
Is history, and here you are on the Go Curvy couch.
Yeah, absolutely.
With Kelly.
Did you wash your hands?
I did.
Good, just checking.
That's always.
I ask everybody that.
Now that wouldn't be a good date opener, would it?
Probably not.
I wouldn't ask that on a date, Sherry Lee.
I think you might. No, actually.
A pre-fellatio question or something like that.
Oh, now you just scared her. She wasn't worried before, and now she's worried. Okay, Brandon. Kelly needs our help.
All right,
so
Kelly.
we need some basic guidelines. So are we asking too much of men? Like, are we expecting too much? Or, what do you think? Like,
well, the answer is yes and no, right? There's some women who don't expect a whole lot, and then there's other ones who expect the world. It just depends on really what you need, not just what you want.
Right.
So that'd be the real question: is what is it that you need in a relationship?
Well, I'm in my 30s, so I'm not mucking around anymore. That's why I'm going on so many dates these days. So I guess I'm looking for husband material. I'm not on the first date saying, hey, I'm looking for husband material. Is that you? Do you want to marry me? I don't mean that. But if someone is not on that track, then I don't think there's a point going any further.
So is your goal to not go on the full 50 dates? Like, if you find like one in the first 2 or 3, then like you're done and you call it
She has a rule, and she has to stick to it.
Yeah. No, I'm going to stick to all the dates.
Okay.
But that's something that I was going to figure out when I got to that point, because I think that it would be more genuine if I write about it at the time when it's happening.
Right.
Instead
Exactly,
of predetermining, I'll do this if that happens, that if that happens. I'm just open to the whole experience, and we'll figure it out as I go along.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess kind of what is the question then? Like, if you had a consultant to help you along the way, like what would be the ultimate outcome? To just have fun?
No, I want to meet somebody. That's the goal.
Okay.
Like, it is a fun project, but I'm also like, I find dating in LA kind of difficult. Just the type of people sometimes.
For all those who live in the LA area, this is like the worst dating environment.
We were talking about it earlier, because Kelly's from Australia and I'm from Canada, and it's very different than the United States and California in particular.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with people, like you said, people's goals. Like, people are here a lot of the time for business, to do work, and to achieve their personal goal, and everything else is secondary.
Yeah.
So I think it's...
And I think Kelly too, in a previous show, she was telling us she's had a little bit of problems with men being honest. And is that because she's looking in the wrong places, or are men just liars? Like,
well, you have to start off with a fundamental principle. It's what I tell all my clients. Unless they're pathological, I always have to add that as a caveat, right? But unless they're pathological, people only lie when they feel they have to. So that means that the onus lies on you or me, right, to get honesty out of people. That means that, I notice that people don't really lie to me very much, is because I'm ready for anything. I'm ready for them to tell me anything. And a lot of people, they walk into situations with a preconceived notion. And they also walk into situations and dates with a past that you're unaware of. So maybe somebody bashed him for being honest last time, oh, I have this secret fetish, or I have this or that, this is what's going on in my life. And some girl or some woman, like, bashed him for it. Now he doesn't feel like he can be open. And that's the thing, is that, people, it doesn't feel good to lie, right? Because you're always having to worry about all the pieces, the intricacies.
Yeah, I've got a short-term memory. I can't remember the lies, so I just don't bother doing it.
Yeah, so the goal there is to get them to be as open as possible, which means that you have to be open. That's where it starts.
Okay, so I've got a question. Do you mind if I ask Sherry Lee?
No, please.
So if you know what you want, at what point do you say that? Like, I don't want to scare people off being a psycho. Like, I'm looking to get married, because I'm not right now, but that is the sort of, say, 5-year goal, which I think is a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's not like 1 year, 2 years, like, it's if
that's your goal.
Because I've dated people before where they've already been divorced, they've got children, they're not interested in doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter what I feel for them, they're not going to want that, and I do. So therefore, it's not a good fit, no matter how great the chemistry is or how awesome the person is.
With my clients, I tell them, and I teach them, it's a very methodical process, but I teach them to find out if a man is or can be the right man for you within the first 3 dates.
Okay.
Wow.
Literally.
Are you going to tell us some of those secrets?
Well, I guess the most simplistic way to say it is that it's all in the delivery.
Yeah.
You all are from different countries, but did you ever play something called Truth or Dare back in the day when you were kids? Like, that's the type of delivery that you should have. A lot of women are like, so, are you ready to get married or whatever, right? Like,
I don't want to be like that, because it's a sort of, I guess, a 5-year goal. I don't know, is that short term, long term, medium term, whatever. So
I'd say for most people it should be faster, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like I said, within 3 dates, like if you're asking the right questions, if you're giving yourself the right environment, if you're staying open and honest and allowing yourself to, you know, commune in that way with that person, you should be able to know whether they are can be the right person for you.
Okay.
Very, very quickly. But you have to. There's an element of fun that a lot of people are kind of missing in dates. You know.
Well, that's the other way I've gone, where I've just had fun with the person and really like the person, but then we don't have the same end goal. So therefore, the whole experience is a bit.
Well,
and that's hard, because then you end up falling in love with the person, but you know that you're not on the same path.
Well, one of the biggest mistakes that people make as well is that they fall in love with someone who is right for them now. And the problem is that who you are now is rapidly becoming who you used to be.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
So if you change that to become, okay, I want to find someone who's great for who I'm going to be, that changes the entire dynamic. Now you're not looking at yourself as now. You're looking at yourself as, oh, I want to have children. I want to have, you know, a white picket fence somewhere. I want to live by coastal or this or that, right?
Right.
All those things are going to change how you perceive that person, right? And with that in mind, when you communicate that to them, now they don't just see you now. They see you and them as a future together.
So, Brandon, how much does chemistry play into it? Because that's instant. Like, you know instantly if you have chemistry with somebody. Like, isn't that important too?
I'll give you a great analogy. I was working with one client who was trying to date an NBA player, right? And he and I talked for a while.
Been there, done that.
Really cool. Right? But, I mean, but
I'm not even kidding.
But it was a really
6'11", just saying.
Oh, really? Well, I'm 6'5", you know, so it's like, you know, and that's what, and a really great quote he says, like, you can't teach size, you can't teach height.
Right.
And that's what I can't do as a courtship consultant. I can't teach chemistry.
Yeah, it's either there or not.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, but it's not everything, right? How important is chemistry? Like, honestly, truthfully.
I'm a big time nerd, and I used to say closet nerd, but like, you know, you used to talk to me for 10 minutes and like the nerdy side comes out. You just put the glasses on,
right? You just wear it on your forehead.
But the big thing is that we teeter in between. We're on the fence of, you know, that cerebral side and then also that like chemistry side. And a lot of times people hardwire their synaptic process to be like, oh, well, chemistry means love. It doesn't always mean that. It just means that, hey, you find some compatibility there. When your heart flutters and you feel that like that really like intense look in their eyes and everything like that, that's great. That's awesome. But don't confuse that with someone who's actually, you know, great for you long term. You have to have that proper marriage of that before you can move forward. And that means it takes practice to have the proper discernment between, you know, your physical longings and also to your emotional side.
Yeah, I've been in different situations. Like, I dated this guy, gorgeous, in the military, ticked all the boxes, but I just didn't feel anything. And he had the same long-term goals, and there was no chemistry. No, so I just gave up after like a couple of dates.
Yeah, don't try to push through it, and you know, and I give this kind of as a condition as well. I mean, there's been a lot of situations where arranged marriages actually work and they turn into love, you know. And that's when people say, hey, you know, we didn't go into this with chemistry, but we went into this with family in mind and things like that. So with that in mind, don't waste your time trying to push it. You know, if there's something where it's just like, hey, you know, like, I can kind of see it, but I can't, you know, give it a little bit of time, but don't push it too hard.
Well, that's a good question too. Like, what is your cutoff? How many dates should you go on if you don't?
feel anything?
3 times a charm for me.
3 times.
Yeah.
So you need to give them. Maybe so maybe I didn't give this person a bigger
maybe
chance.
right? Maybe
I didn't.
Yeah. And I think the other thing with Kelly is she's got 50 dates is a lot. Where does she meet these guys?
So let me hold on. Wait a sec. It's 50 individual dates with different people, or 50. There's if you guys ever check it out, I don't know if she still has her blog up, but it's something called 50J Dates. And she and I spoke a number of times. She's actually a really, really great person, and she just recently got married a year and a half ago or so.
Did she meet one of the people on the 50 dates?
Yeah, she didn't go through her full. She didn't go through her.
Oh,
full
she
50.
stopped when she met the person.
Yeah, and that was tough. That was a tough kind of. That was, because you have to figure out at some point, you're like, hey, but also too, you have to be very careful. Are you going to protect your identity? Or, because people started figuring it out, and they were just like, she'd be on a date, and the guy would be like, wait a second, are you that? And she's like, oh no.
Unless he's watching Go Curvy or reading my website, I don't think that,
But that's
I'm going to be open with it. I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody.
Well, because she really is trying to meet somebody. I think that's, and she's just given herself this goal to do it.
I did it to make myself go on the dates because I didn't want to do it. And I'm like, how am I going to do this in LA? And it just came into my head, and I'm like, that's a good idea, because it's kind of making myself an appointment where I have to do something, and now I have to answer to it.
Well, don't miss a very fundamental piece, and this is what what I have to tell my clients big time, is that men are much more sensitive than you think, and they're much more complex than you think. So if you're not careful to protect your identity while you're doing this, and he finds out about it, and he actually might be really great for you, and you really feel strongly that you need to go through all 50 dates, well, that's more than likely going to hurt his feelings. It's going to make him, feel
that's a good point.
Something different than what you're hoping for. Same thing for women, right? It's like, there's a lot of players out there, right? And that's literally what they're doing. They're dating a lot of different women until they find the one that makes sense for them. That's literally what you're, turning that into. That's why I laugh all the time at programs like The Bachelor.
Am I a player?
That's literally what you're doing, right? Doesn't mean.
Oh my God, I'm a player. I didn't even know it.
When Brandon just said that, it's kind of like, because what happens if you do meet somebody and you're like, well, just hold on because I'm going on more dates? That would make him feel really bad.
Yeah, so protect your identity.
Too late for that.
It totally makes sense, right? Because you need to make sure wholeheartedly that you have the right person.
Yeah.
But don't just do it for the sake of trial and error. Do it with something in mind, right? But if you're going to see the full 50 dates through, then you have to go one of 2 ways. Once you start finding the great guy and you really feel like there's something there, you beforehand make sure your identity is protected, or just straight up tell them, hey, I have to date 37 more people, so just FYI.
I'll say goodbye. See you later, Kelly Glover.
But if he does, if he does have that potential and he finds out, you're in trouble.
I also feel that if they met me and understand me, then they're the right person, they would actually get that.
It sounds great in theory.
Oh, so, Brandon, where can she go to meet these guys? Do you have any tips for her? Where's a great place to meet a great guy?
Well, first and foremost, like I said before, I work with all my clients for the end goal, right? I say, where do you want to be a year from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now, right? So if you know exactly where you want to be, then the fastest way to get there is to start acting like her now, right? So if you know, I want to be in martini lounges and go to art exhibits and blah blah blah. I can't do that now, but I want to be there 10 years from now. Well, don't wait till then.
I see.
Start doing it now, because guess what? The guy that's right for you is going to matriculate to those areas.
So should she go to a PTA meeting? Right?
It's like, so, are you Johnny's mom? No, I'm just solo.
I'm looking for a date.
No, but I'm just, a lot of this has to do with my age, to be honest, because I know that, if you want to have kids, you have to do it by a certain age. I've got a certain age in mind, so that's why otherwise I wouldn't worry.
Yeah.
Right.
I really wouldn't be worried at all.
Yeah. And that's, and a lot of people ask me why I only work with women, and that's really men, we don't have that timetable. I literally have a friend who's considering, having children, and he's almost 50 and, hasn't had any yet,
Can I date him on my dates?
Absolutely.
No, I'm serious.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
I'll put you in touch with him.
49.
Well, Brandon, I hope you'll come back so you can help us out with Kelly and find out where she is. And I think we're going to follow her in a couple dates on Go Curvy too. So we might want you to have a look at it and tell us, be honest with what she's doing wrong too, right? Because we learn from our mistakes, and we really want to. Such a lovely lady. We want to find her someone really good. So. I always feel like when she told me what she's going to do, I'm actually really concerned for her. So I am.
I'm quite good on dates. Going on dates doesn't actually bother me. It's just meeting the right person on the dates.
Right.
Because most people actually do want to date me again. Like I don't have the problem with people turning me down.
No, I'm talking
I have the problem
safety.
with finding the right person.
I'm talking safety, so maybe I'll send like a crew member with you. No, I'm talking safety.
Hi.
We're in Los Angeles.
This is my bodyguard.
The whole crew. We're taking the whole crew with you. A camera crew for the whole thing.
With little microphones on.
Brandon, thank you so much.
Very
this has
welcome.
been really informative, and I see Kelly smiling, so I think that word player. I don't know. She might be enjoying that word player a little too much.
Oh, I didn't even know I was one. Yeah.
I had the pleasure of interviewing a really amazing lady last week who flew in from New York City, and her name's Eden Miller, and her line is Cabiria. And Eden is famous for one in particular thing. She was the first designer to show at New York Fashion Week for plus size clothing. Let's have a look. I have got the amazing Eden Miller all the way from New York City. Welcome. Hi. And I've been practicing this all night. So you've got to give me one chance and I'm going to let you say it properly. Cabiria.
That's fantastic.
Almost?
It's actually very, very on point. It's after a Fellini movie from 1957 called Knights of Cabiria.
Oh.
But you can do the American pronunciation, which is Cabiria.
Cabiria. The one thing when you say Cabiria, that's how you feel in your clothing.
Good.
Because one of the things that I read, and this was the word that caught my attention, sex pot.
Nice.
And I know sometimes as curvy girls, we stick away from the patterns. I love a good pattern and how you mix the patterns.
Thank you.
One thing that I see you do in some of your collections is pattern on top and pattern on the bottom. That takes a bit of courage to put patterns like that together. Is that the whimsical or is that the sex pot?
I think actually that's the high fashion side of it, in that one of the reasons why I really wanted to enter into the plus size marketplace, other than for obvious reasons, was because I saw so much pattern mixing and color mixing and really daring avant-garde cuts in the high fashion world, and plus designers really weren't doing that.
Right.
We've traditionally played it safe. We have listened to our consumers, but I think that the consumers themselves have changed.
Very true.
The attitudes about what we're allowed to wear or what we feel should be worn. For instance, you were saying about the patterns. I love how bright and vivid you can be.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to cater to somebody who's hiding.
Right, right. And I think that's what the whole curvy movement's about. You don't have to hide anymore.
Right.
You know, we're here, we're women, we're decision makers. We'll wear what we darn well please.
That's right.
And we love our patterns. You were the first plus size designer to show at Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week in New York City.
I am.
That's amazing. That is so, I gotta get excited, Go Curvy, because this is amazing. Okay. How did that feel? How did it come about?
It was a lot of luck. I couldn't possibly recreate it another time. They chose me based on the merit of what I had done.
Yeah.
And then after they realized that this would be a precedent-setting measure, they didn't back down at all. Yeah. And they rolled with it, and they really embraced it. They really celebrated the pieces that I was bringing forward. So I got to be as daring as I wanted to be.
And I actually read some really interesting facts. Did Mary Lambert wear one of your pieces?
Mary has now worn 2 of my pieces.
Tell us about your own personal style. It's amazing. Amazing, amazing.
Well, I'm an old punk girl. I grew up in DC, and then I moved to New York when I was 17. And I've always been this kind of, went from punk girl to riot girl to all of that.
Eden Miller, Cabiria, thank you. Check out this lady, amazing, doing big things in the curvy fashion world. Thank you, Eden Miller. That that was so much fun. Let's cook up a Southwest salad. Gio's here, but Gio, give me your hands. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
A little bit
Are
of
they
Perel
clean?
goes a long way.
Oh, these are wet. Okay.
So you hungry?
I'm hungry.
Gio? We need to mix up. We need to mix up some salad.
Great.
So this is always kind of a nice thing to do with your salads. Like if you don't find that lettuce and it's nice and crisp, in any of these salads, get your favorite lettuce. Don't just say put romaine because it's not. So always a mix, a blended mix is always a good alternative. So I'm gonna have you be my helper today, Gio. So let's throw in the corn. So we've got half a cup of corn. This one's frozen. I know a lot of people will use fresh corn, but it takes a lot of time to like cut it off the cob. It does taste so much better, but frozen corn, nothing wrong with frozen corn. And we also have 1 cut up, chopped up avocado.
Avocados, my favorite.
So good, so healthy.
There we go.
Right?
I think we need a fork.
Right?
Or I could use my hands. They were just Perelled, right?
Your hands were clean. So
yeah, they're clean.
But I wouldn't for the next week. Don't use your hands, Gio. People will remember this. We've also got a cup of grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes. So as you can see, this salad is just getting the colorful and beautiful and looking good already. And we've got half a cup of black beans. I actually have more black beans than half a cup because they are so good for protein. And being that I'm a vegetarian, I do like to put like extra protein in there if I can. Beans are a great way to do that.
And they're hearty too.
And hearty and taste good.
Yeah, it tastes good, yeah.
We've also got 1/3 of a cut up red onion. Throw that all in there. Gio, we've got about 1/3 of a cup of chopped cilantro. And the one thing about cilantro, if you're serving this as at a party, definitely find out if your guests like cilantro. Because I find a lot of time when you're cooking, if somebody doesn't like something, cilantro is usually on the top of their list. And it's usually men.
Yeah.
Men don't have a love of cilantro.
Yeah, I used to not have a love of cilantro, but now after 15 years out here, you get used to it.
You get used to it.
But there's something just about that smell at first that, yeah.
So definitely, if you're entertaining, make sure that your guests like cilantro. And if not, it never hurts. If you love cilantro, leave it in a little bowl on the side. Throw that in, Mr. Gio. And Gio, this is my special lime dressing. And the recipe for this is actually on Go Curvy. Throw it all in there. We've got it. Doesn't that smell good?
Oh, that smells so good.
Lime.
You make the best dressing.
Oh,
you really do. This
and
is
I always
amazing.
say, make your own dressing because you know exactly what's going into it. And the cumin in this dressing gives it that nice smoky taste in your salad. Throw it on in. Mix it up for us.
Wait, the chips? Is that after?
Well, there's 2 things you can do with chips. You can either crumble them in, but being that this is a vinaigrette-based salad, I wouldn't throw them in because they'd get mushy. So mix this up, and I'm going to show you a little tip with the chips.
All right.
So while you're doing that, Priscilla, I'm making this plate for you.
Yay!
And these are wonderful baked corn chips. And they're available everywhere, so please, look for the baked corn chips. I think they taste better.
I do like those better than the regular.
I really do
ones.
too. I
Are
find
they
them more
salted
crispy.
or
these
not?
these are salted. I know at some of the health food places you can get them unsalted, and if that's an
Salt's
issue,
good for you.
definitely
Not a little bit of salt, not a lot.
Okay, my love, throw that on there. So basically, all I did was I just put some around the plate.
Sorry.
Doesn't that look good? Doesn't this
That
smell?
looks so
You know
good.
what I can smell in here is the cumin.
That vinaigrette is just amazing.
It smells so good. Priscilla, this is for you.
Hey.
Gio, thank you so much for helping me out today. Gio and I go out and we have dinner, so it's kind of really nice to have you come cook with me sometimes too.
It's my pleasure.
Because we love to eat, don't we, Gio?
Let's cook. Mwah. I love to eat.
I love going out for dinner with Gio because we both sit down and we're like, I'm so hungry.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness. Gio, I did an interview a couple days ago with Danica Brycia. She's actually a beautiful young model who just moved from Los Angeles down to New York to model for Wilhelmina. Let's check in on Danica out in New York City.
Yay. All right.
This smells like it's We are checking in with the beautiful Danica Brescia in New York City. Hey, Danica.
Hi, Sherry. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, it's always such a delight to have you, Danica. So I have seen in the last couple weeks since we last checked in with you, you've been pregnant and a bride. Tell us about what that's all about.
That is the joy of modeling, is you get to be someone different all the time. And so I shot for a maternity client last Wednesday in Philadelphia, and then I was on Good Morning America modeling a wedding dress that Friday. So it was an interesting week.
We saw the pictures and we're like, that Danica has been a busy girl. She didn't even tell us. Oh my goodness, I thought we were supposed to get the first scoop.
One day, not today.
So everybody out there, Danica's not pregnant and she did not get married. It's all about modeling, and she did it so well. She had us fooled for a minute.
Yes. Sorry about that.
So how was being on Good Morning America?
You know, it was just so cool to be on a set like that and feel that energy and seeing everyone work as a team. It was just, I was on a high all day. I was like, I want to do more of that. So it was a blast. It was really cool.
What time did you have to get up to even go on a show like that?
I want to say it was 5 a.m. It was cool. They sent a car service, which made me feel like a big celebrity. And so we went and we did hair and makeup. And The Bachelor was on that episode of Good Morning America. So we got to meet him and Colin Farrell. And
oh, you looked so beautiful. The dress.
Oh, thank you.
Danica, I heard that Curvy model asked she was going to model a bridal gown, and she was kind of worried that might ruin the experience of when she really does get married. Like, did that affect you at all, or was it just kind of fun?
You know, it's funny that she said that. I have modeled bridal one time before, and I remember thinking the same kind of thing. But I think because there's not the emotional attachment to it, it's not it doesn't have the significance that it does, and there's not someone there that's you're unveiling yourself for. I think it felt okay.
I also got some more questions from young models asking me again, you know, how do I get noticed in the curvy modeling community? You know, what do you think about Facebook? Should they go put like all these pictures on Facebook and hope to get found? Or is that kind of, you know, like a pipe dream?
That's a tough call. I don't think it hurts. I think the worst thing you can do is sit back and wait for someone to discover you. I think that putting yourself out there and putting your best face forward in photos is a great thing to do. You do have to be cautious because the big agencies want to make sure you look like you're professional. So as long as your pictures are high quality and they're not anything too risque or anything like that, it should be fine. I think self-promoting and self-marketing is a huge part of the world we live in today. And my biggest advice is if you want to be something, then you have to just decide to be that, even if you're not already. So you are a plus size model. Make that as your slogan, make that is your brand. And the more you believe it and put yourself out there like that, the more people it's gonna draw to you that want to use you in that form. So I think putting your stuff out there is great as long as you're cautious about your audience and the potential brands that you represent. And I think it can never ever hurt to continue to push yourself. I think that's the best. You have to fight for yourself.
That's great advice. If you are using your Facebook page or any of your social media platforms for professional use, please make sure you watch what you put on it because potential employers are looking. Keep your personal drama off of Facebook if that is your way of promoting yourself. So
absolutely, clients look at our Instagrams and Facebook all the time. If you need one that you have to let your personal stuff out, make it private, and be aware of who's following you. It's really easy to make a professional page, and you just have to be really careful with that kind of stuff because you never know if you're going to be offered a $10,000 job working for a brand that is very wholesome, and then they see a picture of you in lingerie or something that isn't along the lines of their brand, and you just lost your rent for the year or a few months, depending on where you live.
Exactly. So keep that social media professional. So,
yes.
What's coming up in the next couple weeks?
We're shooting swimwear right now. Ooh. So it's funny because it's so snowy outside and cold, but now is the time that clients are shooting swimwear to be ready for the season. So yeah, just keeping busy. I'm doing a lot of videos. I just did a test shoot and should be releasing those photos soon. And yeah, just fighting to work as much as I can here and enjoy the city at the same time.
That is wonderful. You are such an inspiration.
Thanks.
And following your journey in New York is wonderful, not only for the curvy community, but also for the Curvy plus size models coming up.
Thank
Sweetheart,
you.
thank you. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, sweetheart. Aw, thank you, Danica. It's always such a pleasure chatting with Danica. And remember, you know, I think if you take anything away from the interview I did with Danica, that if you're using your social media for professional reasons, keep it professional because you don't know who's looking at it, and you know, always keep that in mind. But hey, Priscilla, I am ready for some Ask Sherry Lee. Are you been busy over there in the chat room?
Yes, there's a lot of activity taking place on Twitter as well as even on Facebook and our chat room as well. So
I love it. But are you going to help me introduce our website of the week, Priscilla?
Yes.
So remember, everybody out there, if you are a supporter of the curvy community, doing things in the curvy community, we want to feature you on this show. Find us on any social media platform, and we'd love to feature you on the show in our website of the week. But I've got to give a big shout out to my fellow Canadian. Her website is Killer Curves, Karen Johnson. And this lady has got some fashion sense. Oh my goodness. I think, does she still have that picture of her in the red dress? Is that not the cutest thing, Priscilla?
that is, it's amazing. I love red.
She wears it so well, and her fashion sense is just incredible. Karen Johnson, thank you so much. We lots of Canadian love for you. Priscilla, I've got to give a shout out to a really special lady who's been the sweetest thing to me on Facebook. And we've got to give a big shout out to Lou. Hey, Lou! Thank you for being such a wonderful Facebook friend. Awesome. Back to you with the questions, Miss Priscilla.
So, hi, fellow Go Curvy viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As you guys know, you could find us on Twitter, Facebook, as well as on Instagram, and subscribing to our YouTube channel under Go Curvy. I don't know if you saw this, Sherry Lee, but on our 10th episode, we have over 10,000 views. Did you see that?
Woohoo! We love it.
Definitely.
Thank you, viewers. Thank you.
Yes. That was some great advice from Danica. I think we will have to replay that for a lot of the plus size models that watch our show.
Yeah, wasn't that great? She really had some really solid advice, and you know, she's living the life out in New York right now. So you know, we'll be checking in with Danica and just, you know, finding out, because one thing I love about Danica, she's very honest and she's gonna tell it like it is.
Exactly. So here is the first question that we have, and it's coming from Twitter, and it's from Curvy Kelly. She's in the UK, so her question is, where can I find more UK-based size women to socialize with? So I guess she's not finding too many plus-size women to socialize with. What's your answer to that, Sherry?
Hi, sweetheart. You know what I would really suggest you do is find a social media platform. Come on, find us, Go Curvy. You know, come find me on Twitter or Facebook, because you know, it's such a wonderful community. And I know, Priscilla, you and I chat all the time on social media. We've got such a solid curvy community here. Everybody's welcome. Find us, and we'll welcome you with open arms.
Definitely. And I think like something else that I've done is Meetup. That's also very useful too.
Yep. I get, you know, and the way to find meetups too is on social media. You know, find ladies with the same interests. You know, find ladies talking about the subjects you're interested in. And a lot of great, easy way to do that on Twitter is through hashtags. So, you know, you want to find curvy community, plus size community, look for the hashtags, and you know, sounds like a good plan, Priscilla.
Exactly. And then this is also coming from our Twitter, and it's from Always For Me. Her question is, or maybe a he, what do you think about swimsuit and heels?
I love it. I think it's sexy. I think it's hot. Do it.
Yes.
Priscilla, how about you?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Even on the beach too. Like not just for photo shoots, but on the beach as well. Or in your house.
Absolutely. And a great alternative is wedges. Wedges can be very, very sexy, and they're a little bit easier to walk in. So do it.
Exactly. And this is coming from Teagan Brooks, our very own plus size model on Go Curvy. Her question is, what's your beauty regimen in the morning?
Hello, my sweetheart. Hello. I You know, I've called Christopher Styles the 2-minute man. Well, I'm the 5-minute girl. I give myself 5 minutes, and that includes my shower. So I'm like totally no maintenance, easy out the door. All this happens only Thursdays, Priscilla. That's my secret.
And look at you. You still look gorgeous.
Well,
so.
Thank you, sweetheart.
5 minutes, huh?
5 minutes. I've got the 5-minute rule.
Okay, and this comes from Daphne Blue. This is our last question from Australia. So viewers want to know, what is in your purse? What's in that purse of yours?
My goodness. I think a lot of, thank you, sweetheart, for writing in. I have a lot of stuff in my purse. And a lot of people have seen what's in my purse because it's so big and so heavy that I have a tendency to dump it out in a movie theater by accident. I think everybody's done that
in a movie
before, right? I know it's the worst. It's the worst feeling in the whole wide world. Don't do it. Learn to zip it or take a smaller purse. Priscilla, my whole life is in my purse. Truly. Honestly, I have everything in there. There used to be the game show. And does anyone remember what that game show was? Was it The Price is Right? Where they would ask you if you had a certain thing in your purse?
I don't remember that game show.
All I know is that I knew that if I ever went on that game show, I would win hands down because I'd have it.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's awesome. So, and then last week we did something about what if. So I don't know if you enjoyed the question that we asked last week, but I would love to throw it out again. So what if you were an airplane pilot? Since, you know, Brandon, he was an airplane pilot, I just thought about that. What if you were an airplane pilot? What would your name be?
I was an airplane pilot. Oh my goodness. I think I would be, and I'm not going to say one word, Mile High.
That's good. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I went silent. Did you hear that, Priscilla? I went silent after that one. So, come fly with me, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So those are all our questions for the week.
Oh, that's wonderful. Priscilla, stay with me for a minute because we have to give a special virtual hug to our beauty team who is all down with the flu. We have missed you so much today. Please get better soon. Delaney, get better. We missed you, but I have to thank everybody who's been on the show today. What a fun show it's been. But please, please remember that you're smart, you're beautiful, you are more than numbers on a scale. Live for today, love your body today, and let's go curvy!
Looking good with your fashion style. Life is short, it ain't no guarantees. Just step on out, girl, you wear with ease. Go curvy. Go curvy. Go curvy. Oh, don't change a thing, just let yourself be free. Oh, I'm so proud to be. True beauty has no boundaries. That can't be denied. Go curvy.